Let's clap for him. Stand up. Who's that person that still has 3 for the victory? Let's clap for him. Let's. I can't see his face very well. Please stand up.
Chief Ibiam.
Oh, Chief Ibiam. Fantastic. 3 presentation for the, let's give it on to him. I want you to share with us. I know you have shared with us. I want to share with us how you are able to get some presentations. Some of this you have been doing for the past 2 weeks in getting presentations. Share with me, share with us how you went to the church, how you went to all those areas you did in getting presentations. I want to share with us. And please listen carefully. Give him a microphone and listen carefully what he's going to share with us. And see the extent he went in getting presentations. Okay, Chief, you have the floor. Talk, please. Okay, Chief, you have the floor. Talk, please.
Thank you, sir. I visit churches to talk to the general overseers of the church, and I ask for a lead generation, and I also go door to door knocking, go back to the old customers I have, those who have bought and those who are here to buy, especially from now that there are promos they can win. And I like interacting with people in the supermarket or in the bus station. When I look at somebody as qualified, I approach the person and immediately ask the person that I'm out here, we are having a survey looking out for those who are health conscious. And when I look at you or I look at her, I'll tell you, you look like someone who really is health conscious, someone who really wants to stay healthy and enjoy the God-given life of no disease. That gives them the attention on something different. They are not the upline, downline marketer. But this is another thing, because they have the impression that those who approach people like that are those who are upline, downline. So when I come that way, first I get their attention. Now tell them that if what I said is wrong, they should tell me that they look health conscious. They look like someone who loves health. If it's not true, tell me. Say no, why not? Yeah, so then that's a good one. But I'll bring out my the questionnaire, the small the lifestyle, the leaf cards. Then when I give it to them, I'll give them time to study it. Then they are interested. They now know that I'm not that line of mine. This is something more than that. So then I'll now start questioning them. That's one of the ways I'm getting presentation.
Okay. Let me stop you there. Now, so see what he does. He meets the person. He sizes the person up to see that the person looks like someone who's health conscious, and ask him, you look like someone who is health conscious, or are you not? You see, the question is thrown back to him, and the person is put in such a position that he now has to respond. Now, briefly, I wanted to share with us, if you can hear me, the office looks like, okay. Now, I want you to share with us. You went to a church. Last week. And tell us how you got a booking from that place.
I told them I'm a health consultant. I want to see whoever is in charge. Please. So they said what for? I said, please, if you may not understand it, let me see the priest in charge. Then he may now tell you why I'm here. He said, well, I have to tell them first. I said, no, let me see the priest. Because if you come in back from here, the priest may not be happy with you at the end of the day. So go and let it know that somebody helped consultant who was to see him. So that was when he now went to tell the priest that somebody here who said he must see you. So I now came, greeted him. He said, what is that? And I told him who I am, my name, and the company I represent. And the reason why I came is to make sure that they are all aware of how somebody can escape these lifestyle diseases and also the fasting. So it's all about food. So the priest said, okay, that I should put up a letter that is very interesting and we'll give to the younger priest. So they will be able to come and do the lead generating. That's where we stop.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's clap for him. And now look at you in this business is innovation. I mean, use your head and the strategy. He went into a church once. He didn't even know the pastor. He knocked on the door, wants to see the priest, and then he insisted. And he saw the priest. Look at, he checked the congregation of a priest in a church. There are a lot of people. So if you can get the priest might not even be able to invest in the set, but he has people under him, his congregants, who, if he says this thing is good for him, he can introduce to them. And when a priest puts in a word on something that this thing is good, the chances of a say is high. That's one. Then secondly, the priest might be able to afford it said. And that's how he has done, he delivered a master set, and that's how he went into a particular parish and instead of seeing the bishop, they turned him away in that parish. He went to another parish, and then he ended up seeing the bishop of the other parish, who said he already has a set, but then he booked somebody for him. So don't just, this push month, don't just sit down. There are incentive out. And that's how last week, he also went out to see some people who had seen presentation before and told them there is a special gift on for this month of March. And that's how he delivered a master set last week. So this thing, go out, you have to go out. This training we're giving to you is not sit down in the office, write this thing down without doing a follow-up. You have to take a move. You have to take your destiny in your hand. You have to move out and put this thing into practice. Today, Chief, you can sit down. Thank you very much. Today, we have Andy is joining us in the next 2 minutes. We're going to be looking at a particular part of the presentation. So I need you to just sit down and if you have not, first things we have done now is the little things we have learned about presentation. If you don't have a presentation, we have our lead generation. Please go out and generate your leads. If you don't have your, go out and generate leads, follow the 9 steps we have already treated today, follow them. If you don't see have anyone, take the bold step like Chief EBM has done, has gotten himself 3 bookings already for this week. So now this training today, we're taking a very important part of the training, and Andy is already ready to take the training. Andy, welcome today. Welcome to our training.
Good afternoon. Is it good? Is it afternoon now in Nigeria? I think it is. Is it just turned 12 o'clock? I think it is. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Hi, Solomon. Is Nelly there? Is Nelly there? Is she harding up?
No, she's joining me shortly.
I can say hello later then. Wonderful. Well, listen, guys, welcome back to the training. This week, we are going to be doing something. It's not mesmeric, it's not hypnotic, but I'm going to be instilling confidence in you guys. But I'm going to be explaining how to give somebody confidence, because I'm going to ask this as a question to actually start the training today. Can anybody tell me how to give somebody confidence? How do you do it? The floor is open. It's now open to all of you. How do we give somebody confidence? I am looking for any answers. So go on, yeah, come forward. Come forward to the microphone so we can hear you. Go on, how do we do it? Come really close, really close. We'll have to unmute one of the... we can't hear you. No, it's... Come close to the microphone. Come close to the microphone.
Thank you, Sandy. Believe in yourself. Believe in the business. Believe that what you're having is the best.
Okay. Yes, it is. We're instilling. What's your name? What's your name?
Chief. I am a title chief.
Wonderful.
Gideon.
Gideon. Okay, wonderful. And yes, it is. And we can use positive words, and we can. Solomon, can you just mute the Neocontinental one? Or if you make me a host, so I can. Go in and out.
Philip, please make Andy a host.
So yes, we were right. We can tell people that we've got the best product, we're in the right place, and so on and so forth. And you're not wrong. And please don't think that I'm going, ha ha, you're wrong. I'm not. You're quite right. But if we look at it, if we put McRussell, now imagine that McRussell cannot drive a car, but we put him in a Ferrari. Or we take, I don't know what's the lady on the right hand side, or the lady in the mottled coloured shirt that I see at the front in the grey trousers. If we took, I don't know your name, I apologise, but if we put you into a Ferrari and we said, go and drive that Ferrari at 100 miles an hour, could we do it? Maybe, but maybe not. So even though you're in the best car in the world, or depending on your depending on your belief in cars, with this, then truly, will this instill confidence? Maybe, but actually, the way to instill confidence, which is like steel, is to train somebody in how to do something. Imagine if you are a nurse. I don't know if we've got any healthcare people here. But imagine if you are a nurse and you take Solomon into a nursing environment. Would Solomon be able to thrive in a nursing environment? Sorry, guys, let me just turn that off. Would Solomon be able to thrive in a nursing environment? Probably not. That's not a criticism of Solomon. He's just not been in a... Have you ever been in a nursing environment, Solomon? No, me neither. Could you tell me that I'm in the best hospital in the world and that will inspire me to give me confidence? It might do. But guess what? Once we make one little mistake, our confidence would erode very, very quickly. The real and the stronger, and you're not wrong with what you said before, sir. You're quite right to tell people that we're in the best business and so on and so forth. But the greatest way to instill confidence in anybody is train them so they can do the job. That is how you instill confidence. Write this down. Training gives us knowledge. Training gives us knowledge. And knowledge gives us confidence. So training gives us knowledge, and knowledge gives us confidence. Training gives us knowledge, and knowledge gives us confidence. This is fact. If you asked me to go and speak in church on a Sunday morning or a Sunday or whenever it may be, would I do it with confidence? Far from it. If you asked me to go and sing, or if I asked us all to go and sing somewhere in church, maybe on Sunday, but I didn't tell you the song that you would be singing, would you be confident when you stood up to sing, yes or no? McRussell, if I said you're going to sing in church on Sunday, but I'm not going to tell you the song, I'll tell you the song just as you walk on stage, would you be confident? No. Even if you could sing, you still wouldn't be confident. Why? Because you haven't rehearsed. So whenever we get a new person in, you've got to tell them that, look, I'm gonna build your confidence by giving you the knowledge. You've got to do the training, though. I can't do the training for you. It's like, and I love to use this analogy. It's like learning to drive a car. Can you learn how to drive a car by watching somebody drive? Can you learn to drive a car by watching somebody drive? No. You have to get behind the wheel. You have to be able to experience the indicators and the pedals and the gears and everything else. And that's just the same as when we're in a presentation. So what we're going to work on today is, I do this every time. I prepare everything before I go onto the training. I click onto share. It's never there. I'm obviously doing something not quite right when I bring it up. Sorry guys, bear with me just. And the areas we're going to train on over the next 2 weeks, and we've got this week and next week. This week we're going to work on the enemies of nutrition. We're going to work on the enemies this week and the carrot test next week. And I am going to be setting some homework for this because I want to set some homework really to emphasize what we've got to do with a new person. When we get a new person into the business, we've got to train them. Don't just tell them that they're great. You've got to make sure that they're great. If you got a new person into a hospital, what would they do? They would train them. They would help them, they would assist them, they would develop them. And what I want to do over the next 7 days is the exact same thing that I would do for somebody joining the business, is I would set them homework tasks. And they've got to rehearse this just one page, 50 times. After they've practiced it 10 times, they record themselves, do a video. After they've done it 20 times, they record another video. After they've done it 30 times, they would do another video. 40, the same. And once they've done it 50 times, they then video themselves again. But let me ask you all a question. Where will their skill level be after each 10 times they've practiced? Their skill level will be higher, improving, growing, whatever word you want to use. And this is my point. If you cannot see your progression, if you cannot see your improvement, then it doesn't fill you with confidence. But if you record every 10, so once you've rehearsed it 10 times, record yourself. And you will see and when you watch the videos back to back, you will see your skill level getting better and better and better and better. This is how you instill confidence. So whenever we're training a new person within the office, and I want to cover this before we get into the content, record them. Now let me ask you all a question. Hands up, who likes the sound of their own voice? No. Nobody likes the sound of their own voice. Nobody does. So when you tell the new person, or you guys today, that you're going to be recording yourself and listening to it back, we all go, oh, do I have to? Okay, yes. Because this is how you instill confidence, by seeing something get better. Hands up if anybody's ever been on a diet before. Hands up if you've ever been on a diet. Nobody? Okay, oh, one. Okay, nobody else in the room ever been on I'm on one now. If I eat bread, rice, potatoes, pasta, I go huge. So I have to cut them out of my diet. Let me just turn the heater off, guys. Bear with me. Sorry, it's still fairly cold outside, but when I put the heater on, the room that I'm in goes very, very hot quick. Okay, when you're on a diet, what do you need to do when you're on a diet? What do you need to do on a weekly basis?
Okay, on a weekly basis, first you try to isolate some of the foods you're not going to be eating, and then you keep going back and front in front of the mirror to check, oh, am I sizing up? Am I making improvement?
Okay.
And then you go back again to the kitchen.
Right, you got it. And let me get it. Something else. There's something else we've got to do.
It is scale.
We weigh ourselves. These are my scales. Yeah. These are my scales. This is to prove that I am actually, I've got them in the kitchen. So once a week I weigh myself. But you're right, Russell. We have to have a diet and certain things, and this is like the training. We've got to be doing the training. The diet that we're eating is like the words that we're reading. The video that we take, the video that we record is the weighing. Without weighing ourselves, we don't know whether we're actually losing any weight. Would you agree? Without videoing ourselves, we don't know whether we're getting better. We might think we're getting better, but we don't know. But if you see yourself getting better and getting better and better and better, this is how you instill confidence. And that's what I'm going to do with you guys today. So let's get into the content. So let's go into here. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Now I am going to be looking for you guys to be joining in with this rather than me just talking at you, because I understand listening to somebody talk for an hour, after half an hour you switch off. I did it the other day. I was on a Zoom call for an hour and a half and I was sitting there listening, and after half an hour we start to switch off mentally. So nutritional experts say that the average home could lose a lot of nutrition in their food because of how it's prepared and how it's cooked. And these are the main enemies to nutrition. And the first one is. In fact, Solomon, let me ask you, are these the same words as you have in Nigeria? Is it the same script?
Same script, same script.
Okay. And the first one is peeling. Now, whenever we give one of the enemies, we must pause for 3 seconds and let that information soak into the customer. So the first one is peeling. Anything that's grown under the ground, the vitamins and minerals are just under the skin. Above the ground, they're in the center. But a lot of nutrients in vegetables can be found in or just under the skin. So when we peel, we lose a lot of the goodness. Now you may think, yeah, that's no problem. We can just read that. However, we've got to elaborate a little bit more, because the enemies of nutrition are bulletproof themselves. They've told themselves that they should no longer peel. It's not us telling them. Okay, Russell, I want you to go first because you've got your microphone close to you. Then I'm going to choose somebody within the office to have a go. So hopefully you've been writing this down. So Russell, take it away. Do peeling with me. I'm the customer.
Okay, peeling. Anything that's grown under the ground, the vitamins are just under the skin, above ground in the center. So a lot of the nutrients in vegetables can be found in or just under the skin. And when we peel them, we lose a lot of the goodness. So what's the first thing we do when with the yam and the sweet potato?
Oh yeah, I peel them. Yeah, we do. We peel them, don't we?
All right, so what do we do with the peel?
Yeah, we throw it away.
Okay, so what does that suggest to you?
I suggest that I'm getting rid of the good part, the goodness.
Sorry. So what does that suggest to you if we throw away the peel?
No. So the last question was, don't worry, it's okay. The last question is, would you rather throw it away or would you rather keep it in? Have you got it there?
Yeah. I'm actually taking that because I skipped the throw away the peel at the end of the question. So why have it?
Yeah. So go on, ask that last question then. Ask the last question.
Okay, so would you rather lose the nutrition or you rather keep it in?
I'd rather keep it in, please. Well done, Russell. Well done. Look, we're not looking for perfection today. We're not. This is the training room. The training room is where we make mistakes, not where we have it perfect first time. So, McRussell, can you choose somebody in the office, please, to come forward? McRussell, please choose somebody within the office to have a go.
Clementina. There's Clementina there.
He's entertaining some visitors.
Okay. You can pair with Bruce. Give him the mic.
Come on, Wuse.
Clementina is here though.
Okay, Clementina, are you paired with?
What? You're all going to have a go, so don't sit there. Come on, come forward.
Okay, Madam Tina, peeling. All right. Anything that's going under the ground, the vitamin is under the skin, above the ground in the center. A lot of the nutrients very good can be found in or just under the skin. And when we peel them, we lose a lot of gain.
No,
So I'm just going to ask, what is the first thing?
Oh no, carry on. It's okay. Carry on.
Okay, so what the first thing we do with the yam and the sweet potato?
The first thing I do, I peel my potato first.
You peel them. Okay, so what do we do with the peel?
I throw them away.
So what does that suggest to you if we throw away the peel?
I feel it's not important to me. That's why I throw them away.
Okay, so what does that suggest to you if we throw away the peel? What does that suggest to you?
What does it mean if you throw away the nutrients?
It's not important to me. So what do I do? That's why I throw them away.
Okay. Right. So if the customers say that it's not important, I would repeat the peeling again. So if they go, it's not important, I go, okay, well, look, listen again. Anything that's grown under the ground, the vitamins are just under the skin. Above the ground in the center, but a lot of nutrients can be found in or just under the skin peel. So we lose a lot of goodness. So what does that suggest to you if we peel our root vegetables?
Okay, it's like from what you just said now, I now understand that throwing that away, I've lost the nutrients in my food. From
Okay,
your
so
own
would you
explanation.
Would you rather lose the nutrition or would you rather keep that in?
Wow, I'll keep it. But the truth is, I've lost it by peeling it already. So. But for the next time I would want to eat my potato, I wouldn't peel next time.
Brilliant. Okay, right. So what I want you to do, I want you to do it now to McRussell, please. I don't want you to be the customer, I want you to be the presenter, please. Come forward and read. Did you make notes on what I'd said?
We have 6 elements to nutrition. now, the first element to nutrition is peeling. Now, Mr. Russell, what do you do to your potato when you want to prepare it? The first thing you do to your potato, what do you do to it? What's the first thing you do?
2 seconds, just pause there. Can you see the notes that we've got? Can you see the notes that I've highlighted? So you would read that first.
All right. Okay. Now we have 6 enemies to nutrition. The first enemy to nutrition here is peeling. Now anything that grows under the ground, the vitamins are just under the skin. And above the ground is in the center, and a lot of nutrients in vegetables can be found in or just under the skin. And when we peel there, we want to lose a lot of the goodness. So, Mr. Russell, what's the first thing you do to your potato while you want to prepare your potato?
Okay, just pause there.
I peel them.
Hang on. Rather than say what's the first thing that you do, say what's the first thing that we do.
Okay. What's the first thing we do while we prepare our potato?
We peel.
Peel them.
Yeah, all right.
Peel them.
All right, we peel them. So, what does it suggest to you peeling your plant? When you after peeling, what happens? What do you do to it?
I would throw them away.
Now, what does that suggest to you? Because based on my explanation, I already told you that every food that grows under the ground adds its nutrients underneath the skin of the food. And those that grows on the ground has its nutrients at the core, which is the middle of the food. So what does it suggest to you now while you're throwing away the peel?
We're losing nutrition.
Okay, you can see. All right, now that, okay. Now, so what does it suggest? You already lost this nutrition. So the next time you have to prepare your potato, what do you think is the best thing to do, sir?
Okay, so hang on. So did you write the questions?
Sorry?
Yes. Maybe you weren't there. Maybe I think you may have been out the room. Okay, so it's the question. What I'm going to do, take a seat. You got them wrote down, didn't you? You got them wrote down. Yes, I think so. Maybe Solomon's gone off. Because what happened there was it started to get too much. We've got to keep it simple. Maybe I'm going to get them wrote down for you guys because that turned into a long conversation on peeling. So look, I'm going to go to the next one. Oh, what's that? Sorry.
So I think there are 4 questions.
Yeah.
What's the first thing? What do we do with it? So what's that suggest? That's 4.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. And what happened was, if we don't have them wrote down, we start to elaborate and do it in our own words, and then before you know it, it's 10 minutes on peeling. So we got to keep it quick, or not quick, but precise. And that's why I said to everybody, who's in the office, please get a pen and paper, and I want you to write down the questions that I'm now going to follow up with. So the next one is water. Okay, I'm just going to read the script for now. So many vitamins and minerals are water soluble, and water leaches them out of the food. That's why the water changes color when we cook our vegetables. For example, peas. Okay, in fact, can everybody see this? Hopefully you can. This part here where it says the water changes color when we cook our vegetables. Don't read it as it's written down. Let me explain. So don't say the water changes color when we cook our vegetables. So peas go green and salt, which is natural mineral, dissolves. No, you say it like this. You do it as a question again. That's why the water changes color when we cook our vegetables. For example, when we cook peas, what color does the water go? McRussell,
Green.
can you answer? Because green.
Yes, green.
And salt, which is a natural mineral, dissolves. So here goes the question, guys. What does that suggest to you? It's the same question as before, but what does that suggest to you if the water changes color when we boil our vegetables? What does that suggest to you if the water changes color when we cook our vegetables? Right. So what does that suggest to you if the water changes color when we cook our vegetables?
Losing nutrition.
What does that suggest to you if the water changes color when we cook our vegetables? And McRussell said we lose nutrition. So would you rather lose the nutrition or keep it in, McRussell?
Keep it in.
Great choice. This time there's only 2 questions. What does that suggest to you if the water changes color when we cook our vegetables? Well, we're losing nutrition. So would you rather lose the nutrition or keep it in? I'd rather keep it in. Now the customers are telling themselves that they should no longer be using water. So let's, the lady who just got up, can you choose somebody else in the office, please, to come up and have a go at doing water?
Can you choose, can you have EBM, Chief EBM?
Yeah, you choose, Solomon. You choose.
Okay, if it's not there, Faith, please, Chief EBM, Clementina and Faith.
Come on, let's give it a round of applause. Come on, let's give it a round of applause. You'll have to say it quite loud because we can't hear. Say quite loud because we can't hear.
So water, many vitamins and minerals are water soluble, and water leaches them out of the food. That's why water changes color when we cook. All right, ma'am. So what does that suggest to you if the water changes color when we cook our vegetables? Okay, that means I just lost the nutrients in my vegetable. Okay, ma'am. So would you rather lose nutrition or keep it in? I rather keep it. Fantastic.
Okay, well done. Look, round of applause. Let's do it again, though. Hang on, don't go anywhere yet. Don't go anywhere yet. Come back. Don't go anywhere yet. Come back. Did anybody spot? Did anybody see the bit that was missed? Did anybody see the bit that was missed? Okay.
It didn't take time. It was
That's why the water changes colour when we cook our vegetables. For example, peas, what colour does the water go? What colour does the water go? Let them then answer green. Okay, and salt, which is a mineral, dissolves. So what does that suggest to you if the water changes colour when we cook our vegetables? Okay, so have another go. It's this bit you need to still. It's this bit you need to still read.
Someone has a question, sir.
Still read.
Sir, someone has a question.
Okay, yes. Okay, yes.
Question I want to ask is, when it comes to water, are we going to read it before we start asking the question? Or we just talk about water and ask, what do you does water change color when we wash, or should we read the text first? What do we do?
Read the text first. Yeah. So good question. Yeah. So good question. So let me demonstrate it again.
So let me demonstrate it again.
So the next one is water. Now, many vitamins and minerals are water soluble. Water actually leaches them out of the food. That's why the water changes colour when we cook our vegetables. So, for example, when we cook peas, what colour does the water go?
When we cook peas, what colour does the water go?
Green,
Goes
okay?
green.
Which is a mineral dissolves within the water.
Which is a mineral
What
dissolved
does
within
that
the water.
suggest to you if the water changes colour when we cook our vegetables?
Water changes colour when we cook our vegetables.
We have lost the nutrients from that vegetable.
Okay, so would you rather lose the nutrition or would you rather keep it in?
Lose the nutrition or would you rather keep it in?
I rather keep it in.
Great choice.
Great choice.
Okay, let's stand back up. Let's have another go.
Okay, let's stand back up. Let's have another go.
We have water, man. Many vitamins and minerals are water soluble and water leaches them out of the food. That's why the water changes color when you cook. For example, when we cook peas, what happens? What does the water changes color to? Green. Green, fantastic. So what does that suggest to you if the water changes color when we cook our vegetables?
Simply means I just lost all my nutrients in the vegetable.
Okay, ma'am. So would you rather lose it or keep the nutrition?
I rather keep it.
Okay.
Well done. Well done. And you can see with that, it's about just.
And you can see with that it's about just following the.
We did actually still miss this little bit out. And salt, which is a mineral, dissolves, but I'll let you off that one. So let's go on to the next one, oxidation. Oxidation. Air and light can strip the goodness from our food. So when we bite into an apple and we put it on the side, what happens, McRussell? What colour does the apple go? Goes brown. So if we don't cook in an airtight container, we can lose even more nutrition. They say that if you can smell your vegetables when they're cooking, you can smell the vitamins and minerals leaving your vegetables. Okay. The question again, we're going to use the same question. What does that suggest to you if you can smell your vegetables when they're cooking? It's the same question, guys. What does that suggest to you if we can smell our vegetables when they're cooking? The key thing here, the key word here is vegetables. We're not talking about meats or fish or so on. It says here, if you can smell your food, it should. We're getting this change to vegetables. So they say if you can smell your food, the vegetables when it's cooking, you can smell the vitamins and minerals leaving the veg. So McRussell, what does that suggest to you if you can smell your vegetables when they're cooking? You're losing nutrition. So would you rather lose the nutrition or keep it in? Keep it in. Listen to this though, guys. This is the third time we've asked that question. So guess what? Hopefully you guys have already put the link together. We're asking the same question after each one. So if we've worked it out, so too will the customers. So as we're now doing this script, the customers are going, oh, I get it. I understand it more now. Do they believe us 100%? No. That's a fact. They don't believe us 100%. So, McRussell, can you do this one for me? Can you do this one too? So air and light will strip the goodness. In fact, no, let's go to somebody else in the office. Please, let's go to somebody else in the office. Solomon, can you choose somebody else for me?
Okay, can you have patience? Patience.
Oh, 2 seconds. Hang on, guys. Somebody, just give me.
We have patience. Patience. Let's encourage her. Patience. Patience and mind care. Where's mind care? Patience and mind care. Where's mind care? The mind care. The mind care. Okay. Let's clap for Angel mind care. Let's clap for Angel mind care. hope you are taking notes. You can observe that I'm also taking notes, and I'm sharing my notes. At the end of this training, I want to see your notes also. Share your notes in the forum. What have you learned? I'm sharing my notes. I'm sure some of you have read my notes already. And like I said, these things will only work for us. Practice.
The gas man coming to fix something. I apologize. Okay, so let's take it away. Oxidation.
Okay. Oxidation. Air and light can strip the goodness from our food. When you bite an apple and put it on the side, what happens to it? Good. So if we don't cook it, if we cook it in an in an airtight container, we can lose even more nutrition. They say if you can smell your vegetable when it's cooking, you can smell vitamin and mineral leaving your food. So what does that suggest to you when you smell your vegetable when cooking? So would you rather keep your nutrient or lose it?
Well done. And you see now, it's the same questions that we're asking. What does that suggest to you if ... And the customers also see that we're doing the same thing. Okay, so let's go to the next one. High heat. We put our food into a pan and we bring it up to 100 degrees C. Now, if you wanted to sterilize a baby's bottle, we could boil it in water, couldn't we? What do you think happens when we boil our veg? Go on, McCrussell, what did you say? You'll mute yourself.
Can you repeat the question?
What do you think happens? So let me do it again. We put our food into a pan, we bring it up to 100 degrees C. Now, if I wanted to sterilize a baby's bottle, we could boil it in water, couldn't we? So what do you think happens when we boil our vegetables?
We will destroy all the nutrition in the vegetable.
Okay, destroying the nutrition. So would you rather destroy the nutrition or would you rather keep it in?
Keep it safe.
Great choice. It's the same thing going down. In essence, what we're doing is we're closing the gate behind the customers. They're now going, I shouldn't peel, I shouldn't use water, I shouldn't oxidize the food, I shouldn't be using high heat. Because by asking these extra questions, you're getting the customers to confirm that they no longer want to kill the nutrition, but they want to keep it in. So the question they should be asking themselves, by the time we get to the end of this part of the presentation, is, okay, well, how am I meant to cook? So this is what we're doing. So let's get somebody else. Whoever just went last, if you can nominate somebody else within the office, please.
Can we have Micah? I'm still praying. Micah and Faith. So Micah is your turn. Micah and Patience. Sorry, Micah and Patience. Philip, pick your call. I'm calling.
Okay, sir.
To put our food in the pan, bring it up to 100 different degrees. If I wanted to sterilize the broth, I boil it in water, put it high. I'm not ready.
Yes, you can.
So what do you think happens when we boil our vegetable?
We lose the nutrition.
So what does that suggest to you? You rather keep or destroy the nutrients?
I'll keep.
Fantastic.
And you can see now it's the same questions that we're using over and over again. So hopefully this will really start to sink in. Okay, next one, steaming. Now steaming is better than boiling, but it occurs at 100 degrees plus, and it's a wet heat. Now, if you read the small print on a new steamer, it says we should only steam for a few minutes. But unless you like your food and vegetables half cooked, we steam and steam and steam and steam and steam until it's cooked, soaking the vegetables. But if you look at the water at the bottom of the pan, it's still green from the broccoli and peas and orange from the carrots. Can anybody guess what the question is? Anybody guess what I'm about to ask? Go on, McRussell. It begins with so. So what? Go on.
So what does that suggest to you when we steam our vegetables?
Near enough. Near as damn it. You got it right. So what does that suggest to you if the water changes color at the bottom of the steamer? So that nearly. So what does that suggest to you if the water changes color at the bottom of the steamer? What does that suggest to you if the water changes color at the bottom of the steamer?
We are losing nutrition.
Okay. So we're losing nutrition. So would you rather keep it in or would you rather lose it?
I'd rather keep it in.
Great choice. Great choice. So you now see with this, it's the same questions that we're almost using. And I could see Russell, he sort of knew it, but and hopefully many of you in the room can now see the questions that we're asking. But so too do the customers. So as we're doing steaming, they're already saying to themselves, oh, it's the same thing. I'm doing the same thing. I'm still destroying the vitamins and minerals. Aye, aye, aye. Okay, I get it. So let's go to somebody else within the office, please.
Okay, Mrs. Oladejo versus Faith. Faith, who's standing? Faith again? Okay, so let's have you have a second go. Who is now sitting by Clementina?
Yes, Joy Adini.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, madam. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead, madam. Go ahead.
Steaming is better than boiling, but of course, at 100 degrees Celsius plus and say wet heat. If you read the small print on the new steamer, it says we should only steam for a few minutes. So unless you like your food and vegetables have cooked, we steam and steam until it's all cooked. Soaking the vegetables, and if you look at the water in the bottom of the pan, it's green from the broccoli, peas, or orange from the carrots. What does that suggest to you if the water changes color at the bottom of the steamer?
Oh, but we're losing lots of nutrients.
Fantastic. Will you rather keep it in or you lose it?
Rather keep it in.
Great.
Well done. Superb. And hopefully you can see the format that we go in. I'm going to mute the office to stop the echo. But hopefully you can hear this now, that you're hearing it and you're going, right, this is making sense. The questions are almost duplicating themselves after each one. But what you're doing mentally for the customer is that the customers are telling us that they should no longer peel. The customers are telling us that they should no longer use water. The customers are telling us that they should no longer oxidize the food. The customers are telling us they should no longer use high heat. The customers are telling us they should no longer steam. It's not us telling the customers. This is how you become a professional salesperson. But when you get somebody new into the office, we've got to train them on the skills. Don't just motivate them. You've got to train them, because training gives us knowledge and knowledge gives us confidence. Knowledge is only powerful when we use it. Yes, that's true. But you've got to train them to give them the knowledge, which will in turn give them the confidence. Microwaves. Microwaves cook at 100 degrees Celsius and more. And a lot of people say the food is different. Which would you prefer? Baked potato done in the microwave or one done in a conventional oven? They'll say an oven. But I would say to them, what does that suggest to you if we're cooking at 100 degrees Celsius or more? So you would do the same question. So what does that suggest to you if we're cooking at 100 degrees Celsius or more? Okay, you're killing the nutrition. Would you rather kill it or keep it in? And again, I'm getting through these last two fairly quick because we're running out of time. But look at this last one, roasting and grilling. McRussell, what temperature would you set the oven to if you were going to roast your vegetables?
150 or 200 degrees.
Right. So high heat again. So what does that, and you can even, as you say it, what does that suggest to you if you're cooking at high heat? And the customers will already start to tell you before you say at this point. When you start saying, so what? They'll go, yeah. I know, I get it. Because they've heard the same question 4 or 5 times now. So before you even say, so what do you think? The customers go, okay, I get it. I understand it now. We're not just reading a script to them. We're interacting. But more importantly, we're getting the customers to tell us. And that's the key part. We're getting the customers to tell us why they shouldn't be cooking in that way. That's power. Because when somebody tells you something, if we go into people's homes and we go, you shouldn't be cooking like this because this is not good for your health because you're losing the nutrition. Do they care when we say that to them? No. They actually put a barrier up. They go, oh yeah, you're telling me I'm doing it wrong? But by asking them questions the way I've trained you today, the customers are telling themselves, I'm going to be truthful. I don't know whether you guys have ever heard of it. Kangen water systems. I had a lady who tried to sell me one of those in my kitchen. And do you know what she said? She was talking in Tagalog to my wife. My wife is from the Philippines. She was trying to sell this water system to my wife, talking in her language. She wasn't doing it in English, so she could speak to me. And I said, look, you're going to have to do it in English if you want to sell anything. She went, you need to buy one of these, otherwise you're not looking after your son's health. She didn't last in the house very long. She was in the house for another 2 minutes. I asked her to collect her things and leave. Because when somebody tells you that you need to get this, otherwise you're not doing, it was a verbal attack on me. So I asked her to leave the house. Don't get me wrong, we were at a party. It was a party at our house. So I said, please leave the house, go into the back garden and enjoy the party. But please don't come in here and start telling me what is good for me and my family. Thank you. So you've got to be careful. Please don't think people are going to throw you out of the house. That's not what I mean by this. But it's how you actually approach the presentation. I want you to be firm. I want you to be strong. But I don't want you to be telling somebody. I want you to be asking them. Does that make sense? Wonderful. What I'm going to do, have we got a Neocontinental video group? Have I set one up? Bear with me. I think we did. Yes, Neocontinental.
Can we touch the fats and oils?
Fats and oils. I'm running out of time. So this one we
Okay.
Yeah, I've got another meeting to go to at 12 o'clock. That's why I was trying to get through. So yes, normally we would do the fats and oils. This is why I'm saying I'm going to send a video of me doing the enemies of nutrition into our WhatsApp training group. Solomon, can you add everybody into the group? I don't know whether I've put you as an admin. Yes, I've got you as an admin. Solomon, if you can add everybody on the training into this group. Now, I'm going to give you a homework task. This is not optional. I'm not saying you've got a choice whether you do it or not. It's mandatory. Please don't think I'm trying to boss you about. I'm not. But if you don't do it, your skill level is going to remain in the same place. But do you know what? Hands up who likes prizes. Okay, there's some of you who don't like the prize. Okay, if your name gets drawn out, I'm having the prize then. Solomon, it's a chef set. Chef set's no, I'm joking. Otherwise, they'll be saying, Andy said it's a chef set. Okay, there's going to be a prize. Everybody who sends their video in, we're going to put your name into the 1 quart or a Salad Master bowl, and we're going to pull out the lucky name, and that person will win a prize next week. But remember, I'm going to send through a copy of me doing the enemies of nutrition, including the fats and the oils. So guys, any questions before we go? I've got another meeting with my boss at 12 o'clock. All good. Simple, easy questions. Solomon, can you add everybody else on the group? You are a group admin. It's called Neo Conti Video Training. There you go, Nelly's there. Neo Conti Video Training. If you can add everybody, I'll send you a message now. Please add, so it comes up. Please add the team. I'm then going to set. Has it just bleeped for you, Solomon? There you go. There's the group. You add everybody in. I'll get my video sent over. Let's get training. You've got 7 days, guys. I'm giving you 7 days to do the training, so you've got no excuse to say you were busy. I'm giving you 7 days to do it. Record yourself, train yourself. Remember, training gives us knowledge, and knowledge gives us confidence. God bless. I've got to go to another meeting straight away. I love working with you guys. Solomon and Nelly. I got your names the wrong way around then. Solomon and Nelly. I can't wait to see you again next week. I can't wait to see what you guys can come up with on the training. Give yourselves a round of applause. And I'll see you all next week. God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Can we all just give a round of applause to Davies? Can we just wave our hands? Wave your hands. Saying thank you.
See you next week, guys. I can't wait to see what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. So we're going to share what have we learned. What have we learned from this training so far? The power, personally, I've sent some of my notes, what I learned. I want to put it there. The power of asking questions. Now, if you ask these questions, it gets the thing in. I know the most powerful, one of the strongest part of our presentation is the enemies of nutrition. When the customer knows me in his house, we'll go to the customer's house. Then the customer knows there's an enemy in their house and to remove the enemy from the house. So it's where you present the enemies of nutrition that we have trained on today, which is very, very powerful. So today we have learned about bookings, how we can get bookings. And then after I've got these bookings, how are you going to cook these presentations and how are you going to do it? Use this and it will definitely have a great week. I'm going to hand over to Madam. Have something to say?
All right, thank you everyone for coming on this call. And I believe what have we learned? What have we learned? Starting from Russell, what have you learned today?
Okay, Bingo Mom. Hello.
Bingo.
All right. So I learned about confidence. Training actually gives us the knowledge, and knowledge gives us confidence. And then also too, when we bring new persons in, we want to remind them that we're going to build their confidence by giving them knowledge. through the training process. And then also during the presentation, especially the enemies of nutrition, using key questions. Sometimes when we use questions, it helps us to limit the amount of time we spend on that particular page, because most of the time we tend to be telling and talking, and we spend too much time in that area. So the questions are just direct. Just ask the question, the customer responds, and we move to the next one. So we don't waste too much time, so you don't get too boring. And then I also learned too that most of the time we tend to be telling the customers, like we are authorizing them on what to do, or giving them a condition that this is what they should do when we are talking about this enemies of nutrition. It makes me want to recall that yes, some of the things we made says whereby we were very much interactive with the customers, use the right questions, and the customers tell us what to do, not we going to the customer's house and telling them what to do. Like what Andy said, that we don't go to the customers and tell them you peel, throw away, or you cook in very water. No, they know they do those things. So we just ask them and they respond to us, exactly what we do, like doing the diagnosis of the problem in their house.
Okay, well done. So what we are going for all of this we have learned today, we are going to be using it this week.